everyone, welcome back to the Polyglot grind again as always. So in this video, as the title states, as always, I want to talk about what motivates me. So before I get into this video, I just want to say this video is not meant to brag or anything. I always try to be a really humble person. So yeah, anyway, before I get into the actual video, I just want to tell a story. This is a story that really motivated me. So my brother told me, this was like a couple months ago, he was at a party and then he was talking to some kid. I don't know how they ended up talking, but he was talking to some kid. And then so the kid was talking about how he wanted to get into learning languages and stuff, and like how he had a couple he wanted to learn or something like that, and how there was some dude on YouTube who he was watching who was like motivating him. And then so my brother like asked him to describe the guy, and then he was like, yeah, like it's a black guy, he has dreads, something like that. And then like so my brother pulls up a picture of me and then shows the kid the picture of me, and then the kid's like, oh yeah, no way, that's him. And my brother's like, yeah, that's my brother. And then my brother told me that story, like that made me feel really good. I was really happy because like when I make the videos and stuff, I make them to help other people and like to get other people motivated, and because like learning languages really changed my life and really like helped me and made everything better, improved my life and everything, helped me meet a lot of cool people. So I wanted to like see if I could share the gift with other people, so, like inspiring them and showing them that it's possible and trying to encourage people to learn languages like I did. And then hearing that story made me really happy because it just showed me that it's working. Because like that kid went and got inspired to learn languages from, I don't know if it was from watching my videos, but according to my brother, like my videos were really pushing him along. So I was really happy about that. That was really good. So I don't know your name, but if you're watching, keep it up. You got it. Alright, so there's 4 things that came to mind immediately when I thought of things that motivate me. There's obviously more, but when I just thought about it really quickly, these are the 4 things that came to mind quickest. So as you can tell from the story I just told, helping people is one of the things that motivates me. A lot of people have been reaching out to me recently, not like a lot of people, but like people are starting to reach out to me and ask how to learn like French and Spanish and stuff and what I would use and all that stuff. And it's cool because it just shows that like they want to learn different languages, and like it honestly opens a lot of doors. You meet a lot of cool people that you wouldn't have otherwise met when you learn their language or just other languages in general. You never know, you meet a lot of cool people. So that's cool that people are reaching out asking for help. So I'm doing my best to try and help them. I still don't know how to show someone how to learn a different language. I'm trying to figure that out. That's why I've been like jumping around through so many languages myself, because I'm trying to work out a method that works for me, that allows me to learn really quickly so I can eventually like show other people how to do the same thing. But I haven't gotten to that point yet. So what I do is I just show them what resources I would use, recommend them like podcasts to listen to, books, techniques, and I always recommend them my video on how I learned Catalan in 1 month, because that's the method I used at that time to learn Catalan quicker than I would normally learn other languages. So in case anybody wants to watch that video, I'm gonna have like a link for it right here. So check that video out if you want to learn my method per se. So that's the first thing that keeps me motivated. The second thing that I would say motivates me, this is kind of a weird thing to motivate me, but I'm gonna tell the full story on this later on when I finally release the video on how I learned French, because like as you guys know, I have the video on how I learned German on Xbox, how I learned Portuguese in a pub, and more are coming soon. So I'm gonna explain the whole story. But anyway, when I was younger, in grade 6, I got removed from French immersion because I was so bad at French. And it doesn't really bother me that much now, but like back then that like really like bothered me, like really got in my head. I felt really down, and like it really hurt my self-esteem because like everyone else in the class was like learning French and succeeding, and then they're like removing me from the class and putting me into like poor English because I just couldn't learn French. So back then I hated foreign languages. I hated French, which is kind of sad. I hated all of that. And then a couple years later, I got into learning languages myself. And then at the beginning, not so much now, but more at the beginning, every time that I would learn a different language and get to a high level, it was kind of like the grade 6 me was like conquering French. So it felt good because every new language I added on, it was like, I conquered it again, I conquered it again, I conquered it again. So that felt good. So that really motivated me at the beginning. As I said, not so much now because like that was a long time ago. So, but yeah, that does kind of push me a little bit nowadays. So that's one of them. And the third thing I would say would be the fact that like my polyglot story is kind of different if you compare it to like other polyglots. So I thought hopefully people would like look at me and be like this guy lives in a smaller town or whatever. He doesn't live in like Europe or a big city where there's lots of foreigners or whatever, but he's still able to learn different languages. So I was hoping people would see that and be like, if he can do it, so can I. So, because a lot of the major polyglots that I've seen live in like really multicultural areas or are able to just like get on a train and go on a train for 2 hours, you're in a different country and stuff. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm not trying to belittle these people, but I haven't seen many people who live in small towns who learn a lot of different languages. So when I first started out, and I noticed that like all the polyglots that I would look up to lived in like Europe or multicultural cities or just like big areas that are multicultural, I kind of felt discouraged because I was like, they all have like an unfair advantage. Like I want to do what they do too, but I can't because I live in a smaller town. But then I learned how to get around the obstacles. Like I learned that there's websites where you can find people to practice with, and all these different ways around it. You can use the internet a lot, everything. And then so I learned that it was possible to do it in a smaller town. So I was hoping that, as I said, other people can see that I did it, and then if anyone's discouraged thinking the same thing that I thought, like all these people who know all these different languages have some kind of advantage, then they can just look at my videos and be like, he was in a small town, I'm in a small town, he did it, so can I. Well, that's another thing. And the last thing that motivates me that I can think of off the top of my head is, and I don't mean this in a xenophobic way, but just if I go out and I hear someone speaking a different language and I can't understand it, it just like, it bothers me. Not in the sense that like, oh, like what are they saying? Oh, they should be speaking English. No, like it bothers me in the sense that it's like, this language has such cool sounds and I want to understand what they're saying. And it's just like, as much as I've studied so many languages and so on, when I hear these different sound combinations and stuff coming together, I still wonder to myself, like, how is it possible that these different sound combinations can have like meaning? And then so that motivates me to go home and then like maybe get a book or go on YouTube and find like a short basic intro to that language or something, or just like I just want to like understand. I want to like become an insider and just see their world from the inside and like through their language and stuff, and just learn more about their culture and how they think and how their language works and their grammar and how it functions. And I just find that really cool. Like that's why I learned Italian, for example. I would always go out, and whenever I meet groups of international people, there was always one Italian person in that group or two, and then I could converse with everybody, and then the Italians would talk to each other and I could understand a bit because I speak languages similar to Italian, so I could understand a bit. But still, I still couldn't like wrap my head around how like it's so similar but different at the same time. I just wanted to like understand it from the inside, so that made me want to learn Italian and like about their culture and stuff. And I met some cool people along the way, as I mentioned. And and that reminds me, like as I just said about meeting cool people, one more thing that motivates me is you meet some really cool people when you speak their language. Like this may seem very trivial, but you meet a lot of interesting people that you would not have otherwise met if you didn't speak their language. So that's one of the other things that motivates me, because like I like meeting new people, I like being social and everything and all that and having fun. And when you can speak more like several languages or just more than just English, that's like that one extra person you can meet, or like that's that one, I don't know, that one social gathering. Like maybe there's like an Italian social gathering in your town and it's only for Italian speakers or something, and you want to go because you want to learn about Italy, but like you can't because you can't speak Italian. So you learn Italian, and you can go, you can converse and connect with all the people, and it's cool. So that motivates me too. And I think that's pretty much it. That's all I can think of off the top of my head that motivates me. Alright, so I forgot to add these two in when I was filming the original video. Like I thought of them after I'd finished filming and I was like doing other stuff. Anyway, so there's two more things. So one of the things, and it's really hard to explain this to people. No one else really seems to understand this. Like I get like a really big kick out of speaking different languages. It's really hard to explain. Like I guess I would compare it to like a runner's high or like a social high or something. Like it's like a really good feeling. It's almost like a rush. It makes like my heart rate go faster and stuff. I just feel like really good. I do not know how to describe it, and I probably sound like I'm insane, but it's just like such a good feeling. And I was watching a mini documentary on hyper polyglots and stuff, and I can't remember who, but one of them explained experiencing a similar phenomena, and it's just I just don't know how to describe it. It's such a good feeling. So that keeps me coming back. It's just like, yeah, like you go for a jog, after you stop jogging you just feel really good and you feel like that rush and you feel almost euphoric. Yeah, it's like a euphoric feeling. I guess that's the best way of describing it. It's a really nice euphoric feeling, and it keeps me coming back. Like for me, like language learning is almost like a drug. It's just good. Like I have to keep going back and getting more and just like learning more. It's just so rewarding. So yeah, that's one of the reasons. And the other thing is, when I was younger I used to be really shy. If you want to get into learning languages, you have to talk to people. So you have to come out of your shell and be social. Like now I'm a lot more outgoing than I was when I was younger. But whenever I start like receding back into into being shy again, I have to break out of it to go practice languages. Because if I ever allow myself to get shy again, I'm not going to get to practice anything because I'll be too afraid to talk to people. It motivates me to go out and to be social. And yeah, because I used to be really shy, and then now I am still kind of shy, but compared to before, like I'm not really that shy. So that's another thing that motivates me. And those two are the last things that I can think of. So thank you for watching the video, and more videos to come soon. And